So this is my second note for myself of the day, and I just noticed that I had some chocolate on my nose because I had a banana loaf muffin. So that's nice. Good job, Ryan. Uh, so if of anything in this video, I helped myself to see that. So nice work. Anyway, the one of the things I noticed when I was watching the tennis match today, I was watching the Djokovic and Kevin Anderson final, and I was watching the commercials in the middle of the match. They just randomly come off, and I have a lot of just banner blockers in my head. Like, I don't even watch advertisements anymore. They're so mind numbing to me. I don't, but it's interesting because there is lots of value to just educating yourself on what people are doing on TV, because most of the advertisers on TV are big businesses that have big marketing budgets, and they've obviously put a lot of money and thought into these campaigns. And further, they must work because they wouldn't be spending that type of money if they didn't see results from it. So, just a quick example of something that made sense to me that I think it has a core reason why it works in it. So what I was obviously, I'm watching a tennis match, and this is on like a sports network. So first, identifying what the audience is. So whatever channel that you're watching, that's kind of the category or segment that these advertisers are targeting. So you can target segments in like so many different ways, but especially with online marketing, there's lots of ways to target these people's topics and interests. So this is a sports fan or a sports oriented audience, and one of the ads was Dr. Ho's back relief, like muscle relief, pain, soreness in your back, type thing, and it was an infomercial, and it's like, we're living in 2018 and infomercials still work. Like, it's crazy that it still works. They've been running for 50 years or more, and I associate with something my grandparents would fall for, or be a sucker for, whatever, but it works. So it was like one of these little contraptions, like muscle stimulators that you hook up to your back, and it's got like electronic, and it just shows all these reliefs. So I was like, okay, so who's the end user of these things? And obviously it's for older men and women who are active and playing, some type of doing some sort of activity or sport. So they might be a recreational tennis player, racket sport player. They might be a golfer. They might be any of these sort of recreational sports that like a large amount of people just do for fun. So that's a big audience, obviously, and if those are the people, they're probably interested in watching like a tennis final or whatever. So this Dr. Hose took out an advertising spot for the Wimbledon final. So I don't think that is going to be cheap, obviously. So it must work. So yeah, the learnings was that just offer being able to target, matching up your product with what the targets are. And when I look at these, like, muscle and pain relief type product, it could be found and sourced online very easily, can be drop shipped, can be like lots of different things. When you go to set up these campaigns, what are you targeting? And it's so hard to think about it. When you're doing it, you're just like, oh, I don't know, just like maybe this age group or whatever. But it's like, okay, well, you're gonna target people who are interested in these sports, right? So you're gonna make an audience where it's everyone who's interested in tennis and racquetball and golf and like blah blah blah, blah, and that's your audience. And it makes sense now, but it's like you're offering pain and joint relief, some sort of solution to fix someone's back, or solve the problem of pain, in their joints and all that, and then you have this product. But anyways, that's the learnings. Is like just being able to understand target audience targeting and for products, and problem solutions for people's problems, and how to mirror those with what their interests are. So I thought that was interesting. I think it'd be something easy for me to do as well, just to deploy in an e-commerce fashion, just for people looking to relieve pain in their back or joints, that sort of thing. And there's a huge demographic for that. So I don't think you have to go too far in terms of educating them. They're going to have that, but you can lead with the some sort of angle on tips on relieving pain in your back. Hey, are you a tennis player? Or do you play golf in your spare time? Blah blah blah. Are you experiencing these types of things? Such as back pain, joint strain, da 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 da. And give them something of value first, obviously, and give them, you're obviously going to make a connection with them, because they're going to say, yes, I do that, and yes, I have that problem. So you can identify with them, and give them something of value first, whatever that might look like. Maybe it's just an article, or maybe it's a short video, or maybe it's 3 tips to do this or that or the other. And once you can create that connection with them, maybe get an email, maybe get some sort of response from them, maybe start a messenger conversation with them, what have you, then focusing on suggesting your solutions for these things. And obviously your suggestion is going to be your product that you want to sell. You can make your profit on it, da 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 da. And if not, then maybe redirect them in a way to start reading content on this, or maybe you're going to improve their skill set in that, since they're a tennis player. Maybe giving them tips, redirect them to a tennis coaching thing, or just reading content on this, that, and the other, and you can monetize the eyeballs through just banners and whatnot. So that's a thought. That's just an example of things. These are the type of things that I want to do and focus on and deploy them, and so on and so forth. So that's what I got. So I am, this is another daily note that I'm taking for myself. It is Tuesday, the 17th of July, I believe. And having a very productive day. It's 1 o'clock, and I did a small workout this morning, but I didn't feel like going to the office or doing that. I wanted to work from home, a bit more focus on some research stuff, and just expanding ideas in my head, and just communicating with some people who I'm working with and or talking to at the moment. But something I want to talk about that just kind of transpired and led me to come to a conclusion, which I think is has a far-reaching, has a bigger value in something I'm trying to fix in my life, as well as just understanding these moments of course correct things that didn't work in the past, or at least the end results weren't working, or having a positive result in my life. And so part of wanting to help others and adding value to different things, and being a kind and open person, and wanting to do for others, I get lots of positive feelings and emotions from doing that, and it brings me lots of fulfillment and joy and happiness, and it's good. I love doing it, and I love being a part of it. So I think something I really needed to focus in on that one thing is to think about, at what point are you going to decide when something is at the, at what point do you need to stop, and at what point do you need to kind of put either a barrier or put something to to put a value that you're getting, to understand when you've given enough value and you need to start seeing some value back. Just making a critical decision in terms of like what is being generous and what is going overboard. And so I was just having this conversation with a person who I met through social settings. In restaurants and bars, he works there, and also just kind of sparked somewhat of a friendship, but also more of just a business rapport with him. And he's pursuing his own business, and he has a small team in place. He also has big aspirations for himself to do. I don't know if it's online, but more just in helping others in the world. Has a big heart. How he wants to add value to change people's lives, or at least make things better for them, and he finds a lot of fulfillment that way. But right now he's kind of investing all into his business, which is great. And I think anyone pursuing their dreams is just, I can't say enough about that. Is this what I did? So trying to find a good lighting place there. Anyway, I've been met up with him a few times, and with his partner, but I found he's very inquisitive about a lot of things that I've done, but also just in which ways he could benefit from that, and which is great. I wanted that. I wanted to offer that type of value. It's good for me, and it's also good for me to better understand what I'm doing and learn for myself by teaching. I think is just a great thing to do, and I think it's undervalued by a lot of people. I don't think people understand that teaching is also learning. So I want to continue to do that no matter what that looks like. But this was good for me in that way. So I think that's about adding value on both ends. So I just kind of came to a conclusion today that I was adding enough value to him that it would be worth something down the line. And I think offering value in a small way, it can be in a more obvious setting. It's like a free trial, and lots of people use that as a gimmick to get people into their system or into their product or into whatever. And then if it works, or if they see positive results, or if they do this and that, then they end up turning into a customer. So I don't have any desire right now to get into coaching or self-help, business consulting, or anything of that nature as a business, because I don't see the upside in it going one by one, and also dealing with a variety of clients, and having to really worry about each of their needs, and also the chances of just blow-ups and people's personalities and people not getting results they want. I don't see myself going down that path, as I don't need any sort of immediate income from that. So it doesn't mean that I'm not open to helping one person or one business, just as an experiment or as something to add value into my life. So I just had made a decision that I felt that I offered enough value in terms of him seeing something that I've been doing with him and for him, and just giving my thoughts and going through the process of educating myself on his business, and then watching a bunch of content and reading, and just having an ongoing dialogue about these things that he's doing. So I do that. I read it. I watch them. I then provide my thoughts. I then provide what my actions would be, so on and so forth. And and for me, it's just a small time investment, and it's just maybe leveraging some experience from my past. And I'm out nothing. I didn't invest a huge amount of time, effort. I didn't invest any money. I didn't invest, that, and I'm just able to help in that small way. All of the work, all of the actions that are required behind, I didn't do anything like that. That's just my thoughts. So I don't need to put a price tag on something like that, but I don't want to create this rapport where I'm just this unlimited resource, and you can just continue that an ongoing dialogue and continue to get this information and all of that for free with no value back to me in that sense. So I just had decided, like, this is, if you want to continue on this with me and you want me to continue to leverage my experience and work with you in that type of one-on-one way and really go through that, then we need to figure out a plan. We need to figure out an arrangement where it's fair for both sides and that sort of thing. And for the most part of my life, I've never been able to really identify when that point is, or really figure out this is going too far or this is jumping to a conclusion. Maybe it's going too quickly. Maybe it's just thinking like you need to make that ask right away, and that might be too much. And go on the opposite spectrum is really getting invested and really offering a ton of value and really putting work and time and effort into something without them showing you anything in return. And then you get to a point where when you have nothing to show for it, or there might be some sort of negative thing, they walk away and you're left kind of with just an empty feeling. And that's what I want to avoid. Is I want to just have that happy medium where I know that at any point in the future I'm going to feel good about what I did. And I'm gonna feel no matter what the outcome is, I'm gonna feel good that I understood this was the point where I needed to kind of make an arrangement, or feel that my value is of this, and this is what I'm seeking in return, the reciprocation of that, and that's where I feel is fair. And it's not that I'm 100% right. There's always going to be two sides, but at least acknowledging my intention that I feel good about doing things up to this point, but furthermore, this is kind of what I think would be more fair. So I haven't been able to do that, and that's a really good learning to start implementing these things where you're putting kind of milestones in place in terms of where your time investments are and where the people that you're placing in your life and all that kind of stuff. So it's a short note, but it's very important, I think, and I need to think about these things as I move forward in my life with people and relationships in all aspects, and placing the middle ground, finding the middle ground, and knowing when to kind of make your stand, or make your feelings known, and understanding the value of reciprocal value. Reciprocal knowledge, reciprocal, investments into whatever that might look like. So that's what I got for today. I hope it helped, and see you on the next video.